Commence primary ignition.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another week of the virtual Cantina watch along. Very excited about this episode because we're still in our Star Wars adjacent type of shenanigans as we're doing right now, and we are going to be doing some doozies tonight. Joining us tonight, obviously, riding Chewy is Dave. How are you, sir? Okay, then. And then Mark, how are you doing, sir?
Good. What are we going to do tonight, Spencer?
So, first and foremost...
Oh, no. The same thing we do every night, Mark. Try to take over the world.
Thank you, Dave. Good job. Yeah, that's like when people say hello there and they don't say General Grievous, which, by the way, I almost never do. I whiff that on purpose all the time just to see this.
Well, yes, but then you're like Dave and I, who basically swear up and down that we're going to say General Kenobi at hello there, and both of us go, hi.
But that was the thing. I said hello there in my panel in a room full of Star Wars, and I got one. It's like, no.
Yeah, we both froze to you.
Do better in the fandom.
Yeah. But yes, so we're going to try to take over the world today, as we normally do here on the VCN. We are watching Pinky and the Brain, Star Wars, and also an episode of Fairly Odd Parents as well. So it's a little bit of a unique situation right now. So, Dave, why don't you explain how people are going to be able to watch this episode?
So this is some good classic stuff, right? And it's stuff that they're moving the media around a lot. You know, Pinky and the Brain came out of Animaniacs, which technically came out of Tiny Toon Adventures. So it was that whole like WB kind of afternoon stuff that they did in the 90s. It was amazing. But it hasn't found a permanent real home on streaming, and so you can watch it in a couple of different ways. Possibly the easiest way to watch it is if you go and you look it up on Amazon Prime, on the Prime Video app. It's going to cost you $1.99, but that's where I did it. I downloaded You Own It Forever for $1.99, and this is hilarity. Okay, since I bought it, I think I've watched it 3 times, and I'll be watching it again tonight. But because it's a different format than streaming, is these videos are not as easy to find because they're not definable in season 1. Like it was called, like, I think episode 64 or something at one point. So it's like season 4 episode this, but I think on Prime Video, it's Pinky and the Brain. The episode is called Star Warners. And I believe it is season 3, episode 12 in their definition of it. Or the other thing that you can really do is I'm going to put down here in the chat to remind you, you can find it online on a place called a service called Daily Motion. And on Daily Motion, you can just Google search for Pinky and the Brain, Star Warners, and you can find that. Plus, let's see if I can't get that right there in the chat for you. That link right there, if you're going to copy it in and out, I hope will take you directly to it. If somebody wants to check me on that, Spencer or Mark, that would be great. Mm-hmm. So I think that one will get you there, and we'll go ahead and we'll post it's crazy. It's like a lot of stuff. Just copy and paste it out of the thing.
Yep.
But I will then as in between episodes, I'll paste the link for the Fairly Odd Parents one as well. We're gonna watch an episode. If you're in your Prime Video and go ahead and looking, it's an episode called The Fairly Odd Parents, which again, a Nickelodeon show. It's in the same kind of anime vein as like Powderpuff Girls and Dexter's Laboratory and that sort of thing. Some really cool shows that if you missed them, if you weren't of that generation or whatever, I think you'll like it and really have fun. But it's an episode called Hard Copy, The Fairly Odd Parents Hard Copy.
Awesome.
So I just want to tweak one thing that you were saying.
Yes.
The Pinky and the Brain episode is season 3, episode 22.
22, okay.
22. It's called Star Warners, like you said. It is, in theory, the final episode of Pinky and the Brain. And I was reading up a little bit about it, and apparently it was the last episode to air of Pinky and the Brain ever.
But then before they came back for because there's a season 4 listed as well.
The reboot. So
yeah.
So this was what would have been the series finale. It aired November 13th, 1998, which would have been right before like Thanksgiving. And that was the end of the show. Which I loved Pinky and the Brain. And I remember watching this when I was younger, and I watched it recently since I knew we were doing this, but I've not seen The Fairly Odd Parents. So I'm excited that I'm going in fresh for that one, but I've seen Star Wars.
Well, and The Fairly Odd Parents, man, if you all like it out there, say so and let us know, because we're just going to watch one episode and we'll talk more about it when we get there. But the character that they built that's a Star Wars character became a much larger spinoff in the Fairly Odd Parents universe. And
really?
And years over and over and over again.
Oh,
yes.
Wow.
I know.
That's weird. Yeah. Well, so
Star Wars
I have that license, weirdly enough. We have a costume kit for the two parents, right? So
well, damn it. Where are our crowns and wands? We needed all those to be wearing this evening.
I know. Had I planned better, it's wings.
Yes.
A little staff with the star, and then a headband that has the floating. It creates like the illusion of a floating crown.
Floating halo.
So it's got a little white like piece or clear piece with the little crown floating over it, so it looks like it's floating like an inch or so over your head, because that's how the animation is in the show. That the crown is not touching their head. So I'll have to like find.
Do you have little plastic wigs with the funky like blue and pink hair?
Didn't do wigs, and I think that's a big miss, because I think like without the wig, it doesn't give you the full picture. I'm gonna find it on. I know we have it on costumes.com.
Okay, I'm sorry if I say this, and pardon my French, but ain't that some bullshit? Because when you first started with us, you gave us little dark sabers. It's like you don't care anymore.
I'm really phoning it in over here. Fairly. Oh my God, this pop-ups. We're in Halloween season, and so I can't even just like go to my own webpage without being bombarded with like push notifications. Yeah. We just launched Ghostbusters costumes are finally live, which is very exciting. Let me go to the Fairly Odd Parents. It is. Let me click the link. And then everyone can see it. It's really cute. Hopefully this doesn't get listed as spam or some shit. But yeah, Cosmo is the dad. I forget who the mom is.
Cool.
But yeah, it comes with the wings, the wand, and the crown headband. And you can see from the headband, like it creates that illusion of floating. It's very cute.
Very nice.
So, well, besides watching, these episodes tonight, let's talk about some of the elephant in the room. StarWars.com announced today that Starfighter is in production and gave the first shot of Ryan Gosling on set and announced some of the other cast members, including Amy Adams. So Amy Adams is now one Marvel movie away. She's in DC, but she's one Marvel movie away from having the trifecta. So
I love Amy Adams. She is a real life Disney princess.
I love Enchanted. The first Enchanted movie I thought was phenomenal.
Yeah, even Enchanted Ever After has like its own kind of like twisted. I love Idina Menzel, so I'll kind of watch her in anything. Yeah, I went to see Redwood, and that show was terrible. But the
thing is that you and I were '90s rent heads, so
yes, that has a lot to do with it.
We both were in the city at that time, so it's
kind of crazy. We may have like crossed paths in some way. I always think about that, like people who are in the same geography at the same time and overlapping interests. There is a possibility that you and I have run into each other in another life, right? Like that kind of thing. But yeah,
did you see the Star Trek Discovery or the Star Trek rent TikTok or whatever I shared earlier this week?
That's from like three somewhat years ago. And
sorry, it just came across my feed as I'm behind.
Yeah, I know. The thing that's great about that is that it's a play on Seasons of Love, but it's sung by Anthony Rapp in his Star Trek character. Yeah. So when I met Anthony Rapp, other than during being a rent head, it was actually at a Star Trek convention, and the photo I actually got signed was of him in Rent. And I actually had to do the quote of December 24th, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time as my quote. And then one of the other angels, the secondary angel, was in Star Trek as well. So I got him an angel. But we're going to talk about this. Rhode Island Comic-Con, there is a Rent reunion from the movie there, because Jesse L. Martin from The Flash is going to be there, as well as Rosario, and there's going to be a Rent dual photo op with
I was going to say, two people a reunion does not make, but a dual photo op is cool.
Yeah.
That being said, like, I don't know how many people are clamoring for a Rent movie reunion other than maybe me, you, and like a handful of other random people who like love the show too much. I did see the greatest meme though, and I realized that we were way off topic, but I saw the funniest thing, and it was all exactly. Sherry's not here to make us grab the wheel. So it was Rent related, and it was basically as a teenager watching Rent, I felt that like these people should absolutely not have to pay rent. And then as a man in my 20s, I was like, oh my God, no one should pay rent. And now as a man in my 30s, I understand that the only people who should pay rent are the characters in Rent. And it's like so true. They're like the worst people. Like every single one of their problems could be solved by literally having a job for like more than one day. Like it's like, oh, I can't afford this tea. Like it's a cup of tea, sir. Like I know they're hiring because it's still the 90s and there are still jobs. Like it's so infuriating to just watch like the nonsense of it all. And at some point it's like we're rooting for the drugs, like as opposed to the protagonists of this story. I was like, could we have killed more of them? And I know that sounds crazy, but as a like native New Yorker, and like that show is like a defining moment in like musical theater, in like queer theater, in like multi-ethnic cultural theater. And then you go back and watch it, and I was like, oh, I hate all of these people. Punch all of them. Like it's just and the protagonist guy is Mark. He's the one heterosexual in the show. There's a few of them, but like he's like the lead heterosexual, but also such a closet case. I've watched that show more recently, and I was like, oh, I get it now. Like he's filming everyone because he like will, and there's a whole song about it. He will not get involved in like the drama of it all because he's like reserved from everything. I was like, oh, because he's a closet case. He's in love with Roger. Like there's like all these layers that like seemed obvious, but no one has said out loud. I don't know.
So you need to do this. When I was in New York a couple of weeks ago, which I went to go see Hugh Jackman with Amanda, which was incredible, by the way.
Yeah,
he was absolutely amazing. But I went one day. She wanted to rest. I went over to the Museum of Broadway, and there's actually a Rent section there with original costumes. But the video that Mark films and he shows at the end, they're actually showing that on the wall, but the original cast version of that movie.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's something, and they even have to pay for it. I gotta check that out. Well, it's to me, I absolutely like. I loved it. Obviously, being I was a musical theater guy in a former life. But we're way off topic right now.
Yeah, we're gonna wheel. But Rosario is the connectivity that brings it back to Star Wars.
Rosario is the connectivity. Plus, it's what we're watching here is Pinky and the Brain is a show that we watched in our much younger lives and enjoyed it on one level. Because I don't think that I wasn't as involved with autographs and Hollywood celebrities and stuff like that. A lot of the Hollywood meminess about this episode and the kind of things that with the contracts and everything that it shows, I don't think I got at that take. I got the Star Wars stuff, but I didn't get the Hollywood stuff. And now I get more of that now. That
I
is
mean,
yeah.
it's also to the
that's
point where
the mark of a
even,
good show.
I mean,
It's
even
like
I'm sorry, you're saying. I'm sorry.
it's like the more adult humor and jokes in classic Warner Brothers animation and Bugs Bunny and all of that is all the little stuff that they hide in there. It's timeless because you appreciate it on so many other levels.
Well, also we talked about. I mean, a lot of us are in our late, and when,
Like
well, when we
some
go
of
into
us later than others.
yes, which I still can't believe that Dave is older than me by only like a couple of months.
Yes.
You
Yeah,
would
we
know
have some
that.
milestone birthdays coming up, don't we?
Yeah, next year. But
Mhm.
but also the fact is that we are in our late and every time we see the water tower in live action, we're all like, we need to open that thing up and get the
Well,
animation.
and think of it too is if you remember back, we were a little too old to be watching this shit when we were watching this.
Oh, we
I think
totally were.
We were not the target
Yeah.
audience. We were in our later teens when we were watching this,
But
and
that's
that's
the
why we
ultimate-
already picked up on it on another level.
Well, the thing is, but that I think that ties back into Star Wars in that capacity, and this is definitely in Mark's wheelhouse, is the animation talking about Rebels and Clone Wars and Resistance and Bad Batch. People are saying, "Oh, that's cartoony," and we're watching this. We're like, Chopper's effing killing people. Like he's pushing people off ledges. This is not a. This is a card. Like, why are we watching cartoons? Is this really a kid's property, or are we actually like we're getting the jokes now because we're more like in tune with life and society and not naive as a child? But still,
And if you
it's
want
like
to see a long, deep dive on this, if you watch a special edition of the Unifying Force that I did on like the top 100 cartoon properties of the 20th century, is like I go down there and the 90s was such a renaissance for animation, both in Disney, both in Warner. They were both like Pinky and the Brain, the show came out of it was just a little segment of the Animaniacs and it blew up.
And
talk
love
about this,
Animaniacs.
let's talk about this as well. Is that like for those who watch the Tracy Ullman show, The Simpsons. Simpsons was a little sleep in the Tracy Ullman variety show. So and that became look how the Simpsons are still running today. Look at when all three of us were in college, when the first VHS version of the Spirit of Christmas special from South Park came out, and that George Clooney is the cause, introduced them to Comedy Central because he thought this is the funniest thing he's ever seen. These are all things that, when we were of age and started to understand, the broad scope and even the jokes of the Looney Tunes when we were kids that went over our heads. We're now like, how the hell did we watch this when we were like in our early years? It's amazing what we had at our disposal between the 90s, the 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s of animation, but also society allowing us to watch that. And that was norm.
Yeah, the 90s cartoons are
and there's been so many like reboots, like the Animaniacs and Pinky and the Brain reboot came out and redid later. You'll see, I mean, in the costuming realm is Mark that like you have Fairly Odd Parents costumes now from there. I don't know if it's you guys or not, but somebody is putting out like a full body Darkwing Duck costume at this point, and that's
is crazy.
Cut down the rabbit hole right there.
Yeah. If you have a love for anything nostalgia, someone is doing something with it. There's so much pop culture, and I think it's especially the stuff from the 80s and 90s. Partially because we have the money to do it now.
Masters of the Universe is getting its reboot.
I'm so excited because I'm working on that, and I work on it every day basically. We have costumes coming for that, and I can't say a thing about it other than I think it looks really good. I'm so excited. So I'm pumped. I know that nothing has officially been revealed, but there have been, other than that one picture of him holding the sword. But other than that, there's been some set leaks.
Well, there was a nice promo picture of the sword, and there was one of Skeletor's staff as well, wasn't there? I think.
Yeah, I think they showed a piece of the Havoc staff. Yeah.
one of the things I'm kicking ourselves, but we were so busy that we were supposed to go to Dallas Vintage Toys when we were in Texas, is they have the new sword on display at that store. So we were supposed to go see the new He-Man sword.
Nice.
So
we were very busy in Dallas.
Yeah, but
this may be the Halloween that I dust off the original muscle suit and furry loincloth costume and have to like rock that one.
Next year is when you'll want it. And by the way, we're gonna make a killing on harnesses. I keep telling everyone that's all we're gonna sell, just millions of harnesses. That's the real answer.
Yeah, no, I will be buying the one with the butt
full
muscle
suit.
suit.
Yeah, it's got to build it in. Yes,
that's how we're doing.
Yeah, let's bring it back home right now. We made a major announcement this past Monday night on Mocktails of the Cantina that on October the 15th, we're going to have a very special event with our friends over at VIP Home Theaters. An evening with Diana Lee Innocento. As you know, Diana was Morgan Elsbeth, the Night Sister, the Magistrate, the foil to Ahsoka Tano in the live-action Mandoverse. And tickets are going on sale on Monday, this Monday at 12 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Eastern. And we're only selling 50 tickets for this. And it's going to be a great event where we're going to have a nice little reception time, a live version of Mocktails from the Cantina hosted by Chris Mock, who is a local Chicago podcaster within Star Wars. And then your ticket includes one autograph and one selfie. So really you get 3 nights, and then a lot of us are going to be there from the management of the VCN running this event.
You get a little bit of VCN swag too. We're going to do that.
Yes. So we're very excited about that. We're looking forward to to that. So remember, only 50 tickets are going to go on sale, and this event is happening on October the 15th. So that looks like 05, Dave. Just thinking.
Everything is back.
I know. There you go. Cool. You gotta get used to that. Remember, you turn that next year. I thank you. I was waiting for that. But yeah, we're very excited about that. Also want to plug 2 other things right now. One that's going to be in the works is directly after that, senior management of VCN will be in the greater San Francisco area that following weekend. We are going to plan a meetup in San Francisco for VCN members. So stay tuned for that. But our final event of the year, Mark, this is one of your favorite things. Why don't you talk about what is happening in November?
Rhode Island Comic-Con. Oh boy. As you guys know, Rhode Island is something of like our silver medal event. And in a year packed with like amazing events, I don't want anyone to miss out on what is usually the biggest get together for the VCN, our meetup outside of a celebration. We always have a great time in Rhode Island. It's the first weekend in November. This year it's November 7th, that weekend. So the weekend after Halloween. We'll be there starting on Friday. The event itself starts Friday evening and runs through Sunday. We always make a 3-day weekend out of it. Our meetup is usually the Friday night. We're checking whether we're going to do it the Friday night or Saturday night still. There's always Star Wars guests. One of the big ones this year is Freddie Prinze Jr., but it is quite a lineup. I should actually open up the website so I can read off some of the names.
I need Freddie Prinze Jr. Is that would?
Did we lose Dave? He had a thought about Freddie Prinze Jr. and the internet shut him down. Is what it sounds like.
Am I still there? Am I here? What?
There you go. Here.
It's like I need Freddie Prinze Jr. That was like the one person who, when I got almost everybody else that's physically on my Rebels poster. I mean, I got Governor Price, I got Zeb, and I got Sabine and Hera and everybody else. Like, all I need is Freddie. I need Dave Filoni as Chopper. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I need Thrawn.
Yeah. Okay. Lars. Yeah.
So for Freddie, should there be an asterisk next to his name? May appear.
I mean, I'm not making a comment on that.
Freddie's got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
I was hoping that they were going to announce with the new Buffy coming that they were going to announce Sarah Michelle, and then that might actually
She'll never do a convention again.
like
Mark, you had a gold
things have
mine.
been said, Mark, but there's money out there. There's lots of money out there.
She doesn't need it. They have plenty of money.
Yes.
And she's going to make a killing on this new Buffy series. So my feeling is I would not hold my breath for Sarah Michelle Gellar to ever do a public signing. If she does a private, spend all your money and mortgage your house, because she never does them. On the Star Wars front.
I mean, I remember being at Chicago 19. No, was it 19 or 17 that you had?
It was 17.
17. I remember 17, and honestly, for every 1/7 sister, there was 3 items of Buffy being signed.
Of course. Yeah, that's I mean,
it's the Star Wars people even are like,
yeah.
Buffy is her major gig. So
yeah, for sure.
Yes, and I feel you, Liberty. Absolutely. Just that.
Can't wait till I'm there. Here's who's coming to Rhode Island Comic-Con, and hopefully Liberty will see you there. I know we usually catch you. Troy, hopefully we'll see you. Brendan Wayne will be there, the Mandalorian, which is very exciting. We love him. Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yes, she is really amazing.
Awesome. I mean, awesome. Yaddle herself. Yaddle, man, come on.
Well, and of course, director of Mando, and last time I talked to her totally about directing one of I think the best episodes of Skeleton Crew that were out there.
Yeah, she's an amazing director. I'm being silly about Yaddle, but like I literally want her to sign something for Yaddle.
At least you're not getting her to sign like a pair of like high heels or something from.
I think I'm gonna get this Mando poster signed. Like this, because
or are you going to get a picture of a pie signed by her?
Yeah, I think that like the Mando poster is the way to go. Yeah. But Dennis Lawson will also be there. Diana Lee Inosanto. So if you can't make it to Chicago, Amon Esfandi, which is very exciting. Freddie Prinze Jr. And I'm only mentioning him because alphabetically is right next to him, and I love him. Frank Grillo will be there from Peacemaker and new Superman movie. So that's exciting. There's a lot of other like non-Star Wars people who are going to be there.
Don't discount that they announced Seth Grable, her husband, is now an official guest, and he was the droid bartender in the episode of Mandalorian that she directed with Lizzo and Jack Black. So he has that shot on his table.
Oh, good to know. Jonas Suotama will be there. Katie Sackhoff. Let's see who else. I'm still scrolling. It's a big list of people. So I'm telling you,
like people from like a Flash reunion, a Starship Troopers reunion.
Here's a deep cut. Nathan Kress will be there, which he does a voice in Rebels, but he's better known for iCarly of all the random things.
Yes.
That might be everyone. Oh, Rosario Dawson. And
more to come. Like they announced, like it's close to home, and they always have a great Star Wars lineup, and it's always fun.
Yeah. So we always turn it into a big thing. So we'll have our meetup like we always do.
Talking about the Simpsons, Hank Azaria.
Oh, aside from our meetup, we are working on some plans to maybe dial up the experience in Rhode Island a little bit. We always have I always like to say it's like a luxurious kind of convention. We usually bang out all of our business on like Friday night, and then Saturday and Sunday we walk around, usually with a vodka or an edible or something, and just like slowly meander through the 2 different conventions, from the convention to the ice rink and back and forth, and like just take it all in. And it's a very relaxing, great time to hang out with friends.
Some really cool cosplays.
Oh yeah, like I'll have my Ezra cosplay. I'll do my Imperial officer. There's a really great 501st presence.
And also, if you're walking around with us as well, you never know where we might turn up, because there is a photo from a selfie with Seth Green with like 15 of us jumping in the selfie together.
I was like, what's the legal number of people we can squeeze into this photo? And then we're all just like huddled in, and he's just taking the picture, and he took like 5 of them. So like that's the kind of thing where if we get some professional photo ops, we'll all jump into each other's photos. If you're going to meet someone in an autograph line, we always invite each other in. So
Except
it's a
when
lot of
you're
fun that
asking,
way.
except when you're asking me to hold your bag, I still end up in the pictures anyway because you asked me to get. You guys got Spiner?
That was Brent Spiner. You weren't with us in line, and then we got to the front, and you were there, and I was like, "Oh, Spencer, hold this stuff for us," as the rest of us got in the photo.
Nice.
Yeah, it was not
Oh,
intentional,
yeah.
but hilarious nonetheless.
Because I still got the picture anyway, but I'm still
Yeah.
saying
Yeah, it's funny because he's literally holding all of our stuff. But yeah, Rhode Island Comic Con is going to be a ton of fun, you guys. More to come on that front. Before Rhode Island, though, we're going to be doing something for New York Comic Con. So if we go in chronological order, we've got the senior exec team showing up in San Francisco after the Chicago event with Diana Lee and Asanto. So look for us in the middle of October out there. But right before that is New York Comic Con. So if you're in the New York area, I will be there. We're going to work on a meetup near the Javits Center after probably the Saturday night. We got to see. But more to come on that front, probably
And a
within
couple
the
of
next 2
cool
weeks.
original Matrix announcements made today.
yes,
for
Lawrence
New York.
Fishburne and Joey Pants are going to be there. Which Lawrence
That's
Fishburne does
exciting.
not do shows at all.
No,
So
never.
If you need a Morpheus, Joey Pants does every show. Joey Pants is a seasoned veteran on that. But the fact that they're having Lawrence Fishburne going there, that's huge.
You have to wonder if there's like a media announcement that's going to be following this, like more than just a convention appearance.
Sure. But while we start the episode, because we're over the time right now, we start with the Pinky in the Brain.
And then we have to come back to that StarWars.com article because we never got into all the details of what they've announced.
I'll give you a little bit.
Everything.
All right, let me tell you, everybody, again, like how we get there is we're going to start with the Pinky in the Brain episode. And again, that I was wrong before. That is season 3, episode 22 on as it is listed on Amazon Prime. Okay. But if you are going out there and you are looking for it in the internet in general, if you go to the Google and you type in Pinky in the Brain, Star Warners, okay, it will come up for you. And there you can find it on Daily Motion. It's all over the place, and like it's listed as like episode 65 or someplace. On Daily Motion, it's listed as season 4, episode 9. So this is where it gets really weird. And like Mark was saying, this was the end of the show before they brought it back.
Yeah, the original run.
Yeah. So let me go ahead and grab that.
Look what you started, Mark.
Well, this is everyone's fault but mine. Yeah, Liberty, didn't I offer you an edible last time?
You didn't offer me one. That's what I asked.
I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I like to be calm during that convention because I get easily overstimulated, and it's a really
that is a big con between rolling back and forth from the dunk and the thing and the is whoa.
But it's always an easy one. Like my guest list of people I'm going to meet is probably 5 people that I need autographs or photos from, and then everyone else I'm going to say hello to, and then everyone else I'm just going to tag along because Ashley always has someone random she wants to meet, so I'll tag with her, and we'll visit every table. If you have a small vendor table at Rhode Island Comic Con, just know that we are going to come bother you for at least a minute and find out what you're selling. That is the amount of time we have to enjoy Rhode Island Comic Con. Whatever silly experience, that Blockbuster thing, I was in there for an hour. Walking around in my little yellow suit and taking pictures and the Instagrammable moments, filling up a bag of stuff I was never going to buy. It was so stupid. And I still spent a ton of time there.
Cool. All right. So everybody should have had the time. We're going to get ready to get to the episode. And as soon as I locate the 10-second countdown, we're going to go in 10. And there's your crawl.
We got a scroll. Yes.
And
oh my
it
God,
is
it's so fast. Why is it so fast? I forgot how fast it was.
But look at the homages. This
Yeah.
is not your typical just like homage. Is they went and they watched these movies and went back and let's start with the opening shots.
It literally said pew pew pew. Like they're fans. I do love their regular theme song of just, Pinky and the Brain.
And
oh
they're
my God, those are the good
in,
feathers.
Yes, they're bringing in all the characters from all the other little pieces and parts of Animaniacs.
Yeah, this is what Blue Harvest stole from, FYI. So Family Guy, because Seth MacFarlane watched television in the 80s, and he somehow made a whole career out of that. And I love it. I love Seth MacFarlane, by the way. Like, I'm obsessed with him. But yeah, the good feathers are amazing.
I mean, I'm a huge Orville fan, and when we were in
Hello, Stormtrooper.
When I went to when we were in Texas, when I met Rena Owens, I actually had her sign something from the Orville from her episode with Dolly Parton.
That's awesome.
Nice. The brain. Oh, I love this. And these guys are on the circuit all the time. You can totally go visit. What is it? Maurice LaMarche? Is that his name?
Rob Paulson.
And Rob Paulson.
Yeah, they do the circuit quite a bit. It is perfect making them R2 and C3PO. They have the right energies for this.
Mm-hmm.
The background fighting is killing me.
There's Vikings and the
Pinky-O. Oh man, the problem with this is I literally just want to sit here and watch it. And I know that that's like the pitfall of all of our watch along shows. I get
but that's how you know the watch along gets good. I can sit there and not be watching the episode when you guys are on Clone Wars, and I know it's gotten good when the chat just goes silent.
Yeah,
everybody's watching.
Yeah, and I'm like, let's engage questions in the chat. By the way, I think our episode from Monday, if anyone missed it, if you're in the chat now watching along with us on Pinky and the Brain, tune into Clone Wars that we did on Monday. We brought in Colin Fisher as a guest host. He is so good, and we had such a great chat, me and him and Skip. It was a watch along, so we were watching an episode. It was actually one of his favorites, Cat and Mouse, and it's actually chronologically the first episode of Clone Wars. So going back to Sarah Barnes, who originally wanted us to watch in chronological order, it would have been the first one that we did. So every now and then it's like, oh, we should have done chronological, because she was right. But yeah, we had a great discussion. It was long. We went for an hour and a half on Monday. We never go that long.
We were also talking to Colin about Texas and all that. So
yeah, we had Colin's recap from Texas because he had the Ezra cosplay.
Colin Fisher, cosplay man of mystery. That needs to stay.
Yeah, that we gotta. We have to get him to maybe Rhode Island Comic-Con in his Ezra cosplay to meet Amon Asfandi. That would be the big win. Because he met Taylor Gray and got his lightsaber autograph. And I was like, well, you got to add Amon to that lightsaber now. Yeah.
They had Skip was looking at, they had a $300 metal version of the V1 on sale.
Yeah. They had at Rebel Scum Con, they had on sale, they had the staple gun.
Yeah, no, I saw. By the way, I love my little shitty plastic staple gun. But that's the one I have, a slightly scaled down version of. But the nice one that they have was incredible. Yeah, it's so cool. I mean, it's the best lightsaber. There's no arguing. It's a blaster, and it looks like a staple gun. It's amazing.
I got that signed by Taylor.
Nice.
But
I should have, but I was doing other
so
things.
We can say this, and I said this on other shows as well. We were unofficially already invited back for Rebel Scum Con, so stay tuned because we will have information in the not so distant future about what we're doing next year at Rebel Scum Con. But we will be in Texas next year.
Yeah, more to come.
Mindy and Buttons. Okay, I love you. Bye bye.
Oh my God, Mindy's the best. Thank you, Troy, for the nice comment. I'll pass that along to Colin. He loved dressing up. There were a lot of great cosplayers from the VCN and just a lot of VCN members, period. I mean, our Han and Leia, the Brookers always doing incredible. Yeah, they look incredible every time. And then
I met so many times and I can't think of what's her name that does like the purple Rhodian.
Oh my god, Nilda. Yeah.
Nilda.
Yes.
Yeah. Nilda. Oh, love her.
So she was not going to bring that there, but when she knew that she was doing the Pam panel, she's like, I have to, because since Pam is like, her and Dawn are the two Rhodians, for the Mandoverse.
Yeah.
So
yep, I was able to. I was working with line extraordinaire Skip Ruckle, and was able to get Nilda to jump over to meet Pam at Boon to Eve, and I was like, I have a pink Rhodian that needs to make a special appearance. Yeah.
Okay, I have to interrupt here because we're doing Star Wars, but we're doing the Wizard of Oz.
Of course we are. Yeah, like, everything's an homage of a pastiche.
So here's something that's also really great about Nilda as well, is that she is hosting a panel at a Kala Comic-Con down in Florida, and her guest is our space bomb.
Is Vanessa?
Excellent.
Ooh, exciting. I love Vanessa.
And then
I'm so excited for her to appear in the Darth Maul show. Like, that's going to be spectacular.
So here's the Vandalorian. Sean, how are you? We're looking forward to seeing you when we come to Chicago in October.
The megastar must be stopped. It's the whole slappy wanna nappy. Wanna nappy. Who picks up on that as a kid that this is supposed to be designed for? No one.
I love that Slappy Squirrel is like the Obi-Wan, like wearing the. She is the old person. That's always her sort of running bit.
And she's the voice of classic Hollywood.
Yeah. All right. So from the original range of Animaniacs, of which there were many of them, did you guys each have a favorite character or a favorite like breakaway segment? Because I always loved Chicken Boo because it was just so absurdist. And Pinky and the Brain were my favorites, but Chicken Boo, I was always looking forward to that segment because you never knew what the fuck was going to happen with him.
So excluding Pinky and the Brain, which I think took on a life of its own. It became I think my favorite pull-out segment was Mindy and Buttons.
Really? Okay.
I think that has stuck with me the most because I still have good friends from this period of time that we always end our conversations with, okay, I love you, bye-bye. Every time.
Yeah.
So
what about you, Spencer?
Honestly, I was more into the first season of Ren and Stimpy. For me, Ren and Stimpy was like huge for me in the 90s. I was also very much a fan of
the Martian.
So good.
I was also first couple of seasons of South Park. I mean,
South Park was amazing.
I told Dave this once, is that back in the day, my go-to for karaoke was "Come Sail Away" in the voice of Cartman from the Chef Aid episode.
Oh no!
And I would do that on stage. I can't hit those notes anymore, but that was my thing. So,
sweethearts.
But I used to love, like Ren and Stimpy, like Happy Joy Joy and the log commercial. To me,
I never liked Ren and Stimpy. I thought their show was gross.
Ren and Stimpy, I did not love as much. It became kind of an experience thing. I loved it when I saw it in Spike and Mike's on the big screen in the theaters, but like sitting down and watching it on the show, it was a bunch. Yak Soho, yeah. Chuboo, there's your Chicken Boo.
Yep. That's so ridiculous.
30 parsecs or your money's back.
And Freakazoid, just let's throw in
everyone
WB character.
Oh my god, Barbra Streisand.
Awesome. At the bar.
So everyone in the chat, who's your favorite Animaniac character or Animaniac adjacent? I'd love to know because Brain was my individual number one, Pinky and the Brain as a group, and then my favorite sequences were Chicken Boo. Because I would like scream at the television about how like no one would recognize this giant chicken was like
it's a giant chicken.
It's a giant chicken. And I still use Chicken Boo as like a reference where like I think Adam Driver looks like Chicken Boo. Like he's got that sort of like those features, right? So and every now and then,
Kevin is Brain, ridiculous. Absolutely.
Oh, Jason is texting me. He's talking about Hysteria. Like, do you remember that was the spinoff? For Animaniacs, it was all about like history and they would make fun of like great moments in history. That was a really good spinoff.
Well, it was the prelude to Drunk History.
Oh, really?
Well, in my head canon, have you ever watched Drunk History?
I've watched Drunk History.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing where this is what they did, and somebody was inspired by something they did in the '90s. What you're talking about
well, if
Blue Harvest.
If you look at the cultural references and how the drunk chicken, Chicken Boo, like spun off the giant chicken that Peter Griffin had always had an issue with. Or
I said, Seth MacFarlane watched television in the '80s and made it his whole career.
It was between Seth MacFarlane and also Adam Goldberg, who did the Goldbergs as well as Fanboys. They both are cut from the same cloth,
Yep. Oh my God, the Wheel of Morality. Wheel of Morality, turn, tell us the lesson we should learn, right? So it like sticks in your brain. I feel like I could still do the map of the world. Do you remember the map of the world alphabetically? Like, that was a thing, and or it wasn't alphabetical. It was rhyming.
Well, here's what you're talking about right now. They just throw in a reference to Ken Burns' history of paddleball.
So stupid.
Oh, it's like again, this such. I think Warner Brothers more so than Disney even, and Disney does it to an extent, but Warner Brothers is really where you're tossing in these things for the adult audience. This was not, yes, kids love it, but this was not a specifically made for kids. It's moving pictures, brightly colored, but the stories.
Oh yeah,
that's one of the things I'm loving about this era of I saw that this era of the pop culture is that everything from our childhood is the cool stuff right now. Like we're talking about Star Wars, we're talking about the cartoons, the music, the clothing, the Back to the Future elements, the Karate Kid, talking about Cobra Kai. Like it's all the stuff that we grew up on. So it's kind of funny in that capacity that like we call it the renaissance of the geek. Like back when we were kids, we couldn't talk about this, but now we're in our element because we can actually like have a podcast and talk about the stuff that was cool, and we can actually be like, yeah, we remember we're like Marty McFly. I saw this on a rerun. What's a rerun?
Yeah, exactly. It's like the Force mallet. There you go. A brain gets no respect.
I love when I see that Force mallet.
The time brains plan to take over the world by dressing up as Cher. If I could turn back time.
No, it's time.
Yeah. How many O's are in time?
You have to do the Just Jack version of it because that's the only way I sing that song.
Yeah.
Is that I do the Will and Grace version of that.
And see, here's the fun that I think this episode is like the entire OT and then other stuff, and they're putting. They could have easily done it as more than that, but like you said, they were ending at that time, and this is how they wanted to go out.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
A lot of their episodes, their 22 minutes, were broken into two parts, or two separate stories. They ran this one as like one full, like this is kind of a mega episode for them.
Oh my God. Are we going to now start calling people Flabby the Butt?
Flappy
the Butt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
It's funny how they always think that a parsec is a unit of time.
Well, again, Solo explained that.
They do.
Solo
that retcon actually worked.
And it worked.
Jason's texting me because he loves Pinky and the Brain also, and of course he's in the other room.
Yeah.
He was saying there's one where Brain writes a country song to take over the world.
Yes.
They keep winning all the awards.
That one, I think, was one of the original VHS tape. That one.
Yeah,
think
that tracks. I remember that one. It's a good one. Oh, it's funny, Dave. I hear you in my
I have that
television
on the
in the
shelf
other
on
room.
VHS. Okay, why you need to get Jason on as a guest host?
I mean, maybe we could watch something together. He would enjoy that.
I mean, I would say that out of the three of us with our spouses, your spouse is probably the only one that's willing to be on air.
That's true. We've actually talked about that, and we were at one point talking about doing our own YouTube kind of. He loves movies, and he would be in the one spot, and I would be the person who has never seen that piece of cinema history that I should have watched already, and like begrudgingly watch like an amazing movie, and then be like, "Oh my god, I loved it," because that's pretty much how like the 20 years of our relationship has played out. He's like, "I can't believe you've seen this movie," and it's like, "I don't wanna," and then I watch it, and I was like, "That was amazing." So that's been like the running gag of like every piece of media I think that we've consumed together.
He needs to get in with us for the unifying force, because that's a future episode of the unifying force where Cat Geo and I shame each other for stuff we haven't watched that we should have.
I would like to see the three of you fight, so I'll tune in for that one. So
honestly, I would just want a show with you and Jason and have a counter on the side. How many times he calls you a bitch?
Yeah, no, there's always you miss. So for anyone, at the start of the show, Jason always says, "Have a great show," but in a way that like is very much like, "I hope the computer explodes while you're in there." Like, and that's like it's been like another running gag for a while.
There we go.
I love that they can't identify the appliance that R2D2 is. He's been a refrigerator and a bread box. Like it just keeps going.
Then the flip open trash can.
Yeah, exactly. It's so stupid. The floor polisher.
Yes.
You know, seeing these stormtrooper helmets, this was the precursor to Enoch.
Oh yeah, the face with the.
Yeah, I like the open face on there.
Of Enoch, there's a really nice one at Denua Novo. Product placement.
Oh, there you go. Boom. Lightsaber mallet. Running joke. Take it up a notch. My friend Flicka. Yes, Peter, this is amazing. This Pinky in the Brain, and yeah.
I recommended this near the start, I think, of the series when we were like, we have to do Family Guy, we have to do Robot Chicken, and then I remember this popped up on a list, and I was like, I haven't seen that. And
we have been waiting on you to be.
I know it's been my schedule
for so long. It's just. Yeah. And there's the control room, and they're watching the history of ping pong.
Yep. It's very like, there's so many little meta references, and just like, there's so much love and attention and care that went into this. Oh, Sherry's here. Hey, Sherry.
Hey! We were talking earlier about how you weren't here to keep us on track.
Thanks for popping in. Girl, we ended up talking about Rent. It's all Spencer's fault, obviously. But
what else is new?
Yeah, we never got to the StarWars.com article because I wanted to point out.
We'll do in between.
Yeah. Okay. Just don't let me forget that one of the guys who was cast in it. Oh my God, where's the Aaron Pierre? He is going to be in the upcoming DC Lanterns.
Oh yeah. He's John Stewart.
Yeah, he's playing John Stewart. So Kyle Chandler is playing. The first Green Lantern. Why am I blanking on his name?
Hal Jordan.
Hal Jordan.
Hal Jordan. Yeah. My brain is pudding. So yeah, that's a good combo right there.
Yeah, though I think it's probably a little too old, but I think Fillion would have made a much better Hal Jordan in his prime. And
I think that Nathan Fillion would have been
Fillion. I think was Hal Jordan in
in the Wonder Woman movie
animated.
Okay, yeah, I would say that Fillion in Peacemaker, the first episode of season 2, is absolutely hilarious.
He's good. I like Nathan Fillion a lot. Like I've been obsessed with him since Serenity, Firefly, since Captain Hammer. I dressed as Captain Hammer for Halloween. I also dressed as Dr. Horrible for Halloween. Like I'm one of those. Like I have one of my autographs up there. My only autograph of Nathan Fillion is on a Buffy the Vampire Slayer trading card in a larger frame that has the picture of him posed as Captain Hammer. That's how much I loved that little experiment, right? But like, yeah, in his prime, he would have been the perfect Guy Gardner for young Guy Gardner. It's just funny that it's happening now, but somehow it still works. Like it's really weird.
Like when they brought in John Krasinski to play Reed Richards for Doctor Strange, it was like that was perfect at that time before Pedro.
I did not ever see Fillion in the soap operas, but I will defer to your expertise.
I don't remember him from. I mean, I didn't watch soaps, so.
But see, this happens more than once. This is a classic Pinky and the Brain trope. He gets on the air and something happens. He's so close to the taking over the world.
Oh, every time, yeah. Well, I love when he goes on Jeopardy, and then the final Jeopardy category is like the thing that Pinky was watching on television at the start of the episode, and Brain was telling him to stop watching TV. Like it was very that. So they always do a good job of like me making it like come back around. Yeah.
So that's
and there you go.
That's Pinky in the fridge.
So what does Chicken Boo get a medal? Chicken Boo got a medal.
You got a medal.
Chicken Boo got a medal. Justice for Chewbacca, damn it.
Yeah.
So let's talk about right now. Let's talk about Starfighter. I mean, I'm excited about it. I mean, I know when Dave and I were staying with Skip, in Japan, when they did the announcement of Sean Levy, and the way he basically said it's like, yes, my favorite rumor was that Ryan Gosling is in my movie, and I'm saying that's true. And then Ryan came out, which the place went nuts, and of course I was that guy who screamed, "I'm just Ken."
Yes, we were there. We heard.
But he had that really, really nice hat that said, "Never tell me the odds." And if you go to one of our sponsors, Long Live the Mouse, on Instagram, they do a version of that hat as well. So check that out. But I'm excited. Like, I'm excited for content. I'm excited for Star Wars to be back in the theaters again. And I'm also excited that a movie's actually happening, as opposed to, we get like clips saying, oh, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening. We actually know another Star Wars movie's in production, like physically in production. To me, that's cool.
Right. Yeah.
They're not going to drop the ball on this one. It's the 50th anniversary in 2027. And yeah, I mean, the Rey movie's never happening, or it's getting bumped significantly. But Mando is deep in production and will come out in 2026 when they say it will. And will.
And didn't they just say that Patty Jenkins is kind of back on the thing again?
I would hope. I mean, I sure hope so. I'd be really sad if we lost out on like what her movie could have been, because that seemed to just be a fumbling. And I don't know. I wish Rogue Squadron were really a thing. Like I don't know if she's still going to do that or what. But
so here's a question for you. Now that everything has been smoothed over, we didn't talk about this in a previous step. The lawsuit between Gina Carano and Lucasfilm is done. Originally, she was supposed to be the lead of Rangers of New Republic, which basically they took the premise of and put it into Mando season 3 and gave it to Carson Teva. Would you think that potentially they could bring in Cara Dune into something like a Rogue Squadron or anything of that nature?
So we discussed this a little bit on Unifying Force the last weekend, and we were just like, well, they could make Rogue Squadron a modern Rogue Squadron, right? What's happening with Rogue Squadron now? Is it still around? Does it have Carson Teva in it? And that sort of thing. But this could also be the opportunity to take the original Rogue Squadron characters before Luke. You could have, and I pitched this, which would be what we've been looking for in the Calrissian Chronicles, which is get Dennis Lawson as he is now to like be telling this story, and then we've got new actors in flashbacks, right? I think that would be a cool deal. But
Speaking of Wedge, and I'm hoping they're going to put this up soon. I shot a commercial for the Skywalkers at Rebel ScumCon, but it was voiced over by David Akram.
You did not.
I lipped it, David voiced it, and then they pan to him, and he runs off camera.
Very nice.
So yes, so that's coming out soon. Is a commercial with me and David Akram for Skywalkers, which that was kind of cool in Texas that you had the voice of Wedge and you had, Dennis Lawson there. I actually one thing we got is I actually got David to sign the middle spot of the 3-pack Funko.
Oh yeah. R.I.P. Porkins.
Yeah. Well, he was thinking about his future. Sorry.
Batman 89 reference. There we go. Mixing your metaphors. But yes. Having Dennis, a beautiful signature, amazing. I'd actually got this earlier. I'd had this for a while. But adding David to the piece right there. David Ankrum, voice of Wedge. So complete. There's a helmet that I can put on a shelf and be done with. And
that's amazing. Yeah. There's nothing better than like a completed project.
Yes.
I've got none. All mine are active and
big.
Yeah. I decided to start like being selective because I had so many like long-term projects that I'm like, I'm never going to finish. So I'm like, what am I going to stop now? What am I going to continue to do? What do I care about? What do I want to concentrate? Because I was just getting things signed for the sake of signing.
Well, you saw it at Rebel Scum is I started for my Clone Wars piece. I started another clone helmet. Yeah, I'd gotten one, and it's fairly full with signatures. I'll probably get some other, somebody who played something in one episode here or there to fill in a few of those places. But I've got a lot of big names on that. I've got the Trinity, and then Katie Sackhoff and Sam and that sort of thing. But I started another one with Matt Wood on a new helmet, and there's so many other people that I can fill in with that one. And I actually, while I was in Texas, I ordered another helmet too, is because one of the, I found of that same old line, the old Mattel line or whatever it was, the original for a kid to wear helmet that I used for that. I bought a Rex painted one. Okay. Not just a generic clone one. So that one, I think, may be the one that I get D. Bradley Baker on.
It's amazing. We talked about this in a staff meeting the other night, and it's amazing because of the fact that we usually, if we do one big event a year, that's a big year for us. And the fact of the matter is we've done 2 massive events on 2 different continents this year. It's
been quite the year.
Yeah, this has been and the funny thing about it, I keep on coming back to this, is that last year, Mark, you had a premonition that this year was going to be a big year for us and it was going to launch some serious stuff for us. And it's coming true in ways that we didn't even know back when you made that comment.
Yeah, I will call it less of a prediction and more of a plan, because we've been working at this. Like, this didn't just happen. Like, we've been actively working. Like, I think about like our literal work sessions when we're at Rhode Island Comic Con, where before dinner or before the meetup, I've got like my notebook and we're like taking notes on like all the things that we're going to be speccing out for the year, the staff meetings that happen, the Zooms that people are on with us on Tuesdays that we then have to break out to then go do work. Like, the planning is always happening. And so I knew in 25, when we were going to have a celebration this year, that was going to be big, especially with it being international. And I knew other things were brewing, but man, did we have an incredible year. And it's not even over yet. Like, we still have Chicago, San Francisco, to a lesser extent, New York Comic Con, and then Rhode Island to close out the year. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be an amazing several months ahead of us. The next 4 months, the last 4 months of this year are going to be awesome. And then going into 26 is going to be even bigger.
I yearn for the days that from, like, for example, when you and I first went to Rhode Island Comic Con together, you're sitting at the desk, I'm sitting on my bed in our hotel room, and we're just talking about, okay, what's coming up. But now it's like We got some serious announcements coming up, people, about our staffing here at the VCN. Great stuff.
An actual org chart, you say?
What?
I know,
We're
with
gonna
roles
be-
and responsibilities and stuff.
But thank you guys so much. And before we watch the new episode? Hey Tom, how are you?
Hey.
We are within 250 family members before our 100,000 members. We are almost at the end of the road to 100,000. And please get us there so I can give Grogu a home and my wife can get our dining room table back. But that's besides the point.
We're at 99,763.
Oh, so close.
We are so close. But seriously, we started doing this just before Orlando 17. We're coming up on our 10-year anniversary of this particular group in itself. We could have gotten there without each and every one of you, being a part of what we do. Everything we do, as minuscule or as big as it does, we do it for the fandom and with you guys in mind. So thank you very much for being a member of our VCN family. We talk about a lot that, we have family everywhere because we literally do. And we look forward to seeing you at any particular place that we can around the world or at different cons or anything of that nature. So keep an eye out. We love seeing our family members because, like I said, we do this for you.
Yeah, and in addition to those big events and things that we're talking about between now and the end of the year, like you are going to see some of us at smaller cons here or there, or the other where it's like, North Carolina Comic Con is going to be like it's like a smaller soup thing, few guests that I'm sure I will be at if at all possible. And there's always the things where you can just like, oh, hey, there's a con this weekend, I'm there. As all of us do that.
Vandalorian was there at our first event in 2017. There's pictures of him at Rising Star. There's video of it that Keanu actually shot of Sean performing at our event that we can't talk about. The precursor to Boonty Eve. But the fact of the matter is that we've grown exponentially, and it's been quite a ride, and it's not over yet because I can tell you this right now for behind the scenes here at the VCN. Between June 26th going past Celebration 27, we're going to be busy. I'm just saying that.
The calendar's a little bit crazy. More imminently, as we announce new people who are joining us to help on the ever-growing ship over here. Some new programming is coming.
Ever-growing sail barge.
Yeah, exactly. It is the sail barge. Oh no, the sail barge went down in flames. What's still flying? The Falcon is still flying, right?
No,
Falcon is still flying.
We're the Tantive 4.
There we go.
We're the greatest dunk in the galaxy.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. We are the millennium. I kind of think we're the ghost. We're very family, right?
Well, we all say we're the ghost, but I think we're more like the Marauder. But
oh my god. But yeah, more people are joining the crew. That's actually what we should be referring to our staff as, is the crew, right? Like we're manning the ship with some, and coming next week, there'll be official announcements of the people who are taking on some formalized roles, some expanded roles. Exciting stuff happening. I know that sounds very corporate, but it's going to be really fun seeing everyone like jump in and join. I know when I first came on, like I started as a guest host on Thursday night, just like popping in for fun.
Yes.
And then it turned into launch a show, and then it's progressively increased, right? So anyone who wants to get involved, you are invited to get involved in any way, shape, or form you would like to. Contact me. I am heading up the staffing/recruitment at the moment. Let me know if you'd like to participate in production, programming, help with graphics, marketing.
For the love of God, if you know how to do graphics.
please. Have you guys ever see that that billboard where it was done in Microsoft Paint and it was like, we need a graphic designer? And that was the ad. Like, I feel that way sometimes where it's like, we need a graphic designer, but we need everything. We need every department to like, everyone just needs a little bit more hands. So if you're looking to volunteer, even if you can contribute a tiny bit, or if you can do something big, we will take your help, and we'd love to get you involved and maybe figure out like where you can lend your talents. So yeah, shoot me a message in my DMs and we can chat.
So Tom just says we should
the
go
Mark
maybe we should-
DM. Or, of course, you can email the entire thing. You can email us at virtualcantinanetwork@gmail.com.
Or Dave or Jeff if you're interested specifically in graphics. Yeah, Kevin is saying he does graphics. Contact Dave or Jeff.
Tom says we're the Colossus. I think honestly, I was just thought about this. We're more like the Razor Crest when it got modded by the Mon Calamari. With the rope and the duct tape.
Oh, Razor Crest. R.I.P.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we should start the new episode.
Yes.
And let's get into Fairly Odd Parents. And then while that's happening, we do have to talk about the StarWars.com article a little bit.
Yes, Dave, why don't you get the people situated?
So, I want to go ahead and preface the thing is, again, Fairly Odd Parents, if you want to purchase this on Prime Video, you completely and totally can. It is the Fairly Odd Parents, Season 4, Episode 2. It's called Hard Copy. Okay, and it, like I was saying before, it becomes this kind of Star Wars parody becomes a bigger thing in the Fairly Odd Parents. But if you've never watched Fairly Odd Parents, you totally should, because I mean it's wacky, it's out there, it's
weird,
crazy train stuff, weird. It's very similar animation style to Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Laboratory. It's
I love Dexter's Lab.
Kind of Johnny Bravo.
Yeah, that show was great too.
Things. So you want to watch this, and I think you will want to watch more after you've seen this. And let us know if you do, because we still have some time in our, Star Wars watch along, Star Wars in other properties, and there are some other cool episodes of Fairly Odd Parents that might be worthwhile in checking out down the road.
Depending on how our watch along schedule continues, we may have time to revisit Fairly Odd Parents before the end of this little stretch.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Because we want to announce next week of what we're doing. Are we sure?
I think we can announce next week while we're on here for the people who are watching along. Is next week, I think, is one of the bigs, the kind of, I mean, I think inspiration was probably taken from the episode that we just watched. I think it was there. So yeah, tell them about it, Mark.
Next Thursday, the boys are going to be watching the Family Guy Star Wars tribute called Blue Harvest, which Blue Harvest, of course, was the code name for Star Wars when it was being filmed. That's where they came up with that. And it was definitely a moment. I remember they released like a special box set DVD with like a t-shirt and everything. Like Seth MacFarlane loves Star Wars, and they actually did all three. It's just a parody of A New Hope with all of the Family Guy's characters, playing roles within Star Wars. It's wildly inappropriate, but it's kind of awesome.
As is Family Guy.
Family Guy. Yeah, exactly. It is that kind of thing.
One of my favorite lines from that was after they finished the third one, they said, Chris asked Peter, so we could do the prequels? He's like, no, we're leaving that for the Cleveland show.
Yeah. That would be the plan. I also really love Robot Chicken. That's one of my all-time favorites. So I think we're going to get to that eventually. But Blue Harvest is next week, and then before you know it, we'll be on our way to the new Lego show, and then we've got Visions not long after that. So, all right, but let's get started on Fairly Odd Parents. So,
all right, so let's get started on Fairly Odd Parents.
Plus.
Again, Fairly Odd Parents is available on Prime. You can also check it out. We have it on the Daily Motion. So if you
Google, Paramount Plus.
Yes, it is on the Paramount Plus. Certain seasons of it. This particular one is. So if you have Paramount Plus, it's available there. Daily Motion, we've got that right there for you. dailymotion.com/video/80 by 70. You can copy that out and check it out. It's a little bit different. The Daily Motion like clips a little bit here, clips a little bit. But anyway, this is worth a watch along with us, and it's just it's a Nickelodeon. It's when they were crazy. It's when Nickelodeon doesn't even do stuff like this anymore, man. You know, you can't. There's this level of cool programming. It's like, you know, when MTV used to play music videos.
What a time to be alive.
I know.
Right.
All right,
this
so
one.
let's go ahead and get started with the 10-second countdown. Everybody go ahead and get ready, and we will go in 10. Yeah, my introduction to Nickelodeon, my favorite was You Can't Do That on Television.
Oh yes, that was like Alasa's initial, and like that was big.
Yeah. This also is a very kind of dynamic with the sister and always wants you to do this, or the babysitter or whatever. It's like very Phineas and Ferb. Kind of reminds me of that sort of thing.
I love
And
Phineas
the
and Ferb.
theme
I'm so
song,
glad.
theme song is just addictive.
Yeah. I'm so glad that show is back, Phineas and Ferb. It is one of my all-time favorites.
They have the new episodes.
So Mark, let's talk about the article.
Yes. So, all right, here's what they said. Today, to mark the start of the production of Star Wars Starfighter, Lucasfilm has announced the full cast for the upcoming feature film from Sean Levy. It's weird they say full cast, but because they list like 8 people. Joining the previously announced Ryan Gosling, the film stars Flynn Gray, Matt Smith, Mia Goth, Aaron Pierre, Simon Bird, Jameel Westman, Daniel Ings, and Amy Adams. So I went one by one through all these people. And one, right off the bat, I immediately recognized Matt Smith, obviously. He's the Doctor. He's the 11th Doctor from Doctor Who. He's also done a bunch of other interesting stuff, and he was in Morbius.
And he was supposed to be in Star Wars.
Yes, he was supposed to be young Palpatine, was the rumor. I don't know how true that was, but there was definitely a lot of discourse around
And
that.
wasn't he the Doctor that came back to be the Doctor again with the thing?
That was David Tennant.
Okay, it was Tennant.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was Hu Yang.
Yeah, right. But Matt Smith, it's interesting because Tom Baker, your favorite Dr. Dave, was obviously the Bendu, and then David Tennant plays Hu Yang. Matt Smith would have been Palpatine. Then Aaron Pierre is coming up in DC Lanterns, but people might have seen him in Mufasa. He was the voice of Mufasa in the prequel. And he was in Old also, and the Underground Railroad. He's got like a pretty like illustrious career already, and he was in Krypton. So he's done some interesting stuff.
That lasted for about 5 minutes.
Yeah, it says 2018 to 2019, but I don't know how many seasons. It might have been like 10 episodes, right? From December to January.
It's like, know how much of a Superman fan I am, and I think I saw like 2.5 episodes.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. This is frustrating.
There's a show.
We're watching the show. Yes, we're watching.
No.
Then, Amy Adams is
Yeah.
obviously the biggest name on here. Like, she has 6 Academy Award nominations, including, her breakout Enchanted. Like, it's crazy. And then The Fighter, I think people know her for
But
as
she was
well.
Lois Lane.
Yeah, that's my favorite. That's the biggest role that I would call her in.
See, that's what's so interesting is I feel like she's so forgettable as Lois Lane. Like,
I like her better than the new one.
Oh, I love Rachel Brosnahan.
I like Mrs. Mason.
I didn't like the way okay, let me back up because again, we're not going to just accuse me of being that guy again, right?
That's okay.
We're not going. But I did not mind her performance. I would like to see her in something that is a better written role for her. Is I did not think she got enough of the pluckiness of what Lois Lane is supposed to be.
I think she was trying to be a little bit more like Margot Kidder. I don't know.
So, but that's me on there. But
no, it's fine. But yeah, I mean, this is good. I'm excited. Like I said, they could have put a movie of Complete Unknowns, wrapped it around Ryan Gosling, and honestly, and soft Star Wars on it, and we still would have gone. And that's what I think is kind of hilarious about the fandom at large is no matter what, people are going to go see it because it has Star Wars attached to it.
Yeah, there you
For
go.
the most part, I think that's true.
Who's
And I
going to
think
play
based on
Ryan's long-term, long-distance, low-commitment, casual girlfriend in Sci Friday? Margot
Amy,
Robbie.
Amy Adams. Who are we kidding?
Margot Robbie.
That would be really funny. Meanwhile, this Death Star like causing this giant fire in the town. Wait, what's your timestamp? Where are you guys?
I am right now at the 5:10. So right now is I think you may be on. Are you on the Daily Motion where it just kind of cut out a little bit at the beginning?
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm back.
So I'm right there where Dark Laser shows up and he's got the battle droids are showing.
Well, we're at the hospital now.
Okay.
Okay, good. No, because it stuck for a second and I had to drag it and I dragged too far, but I had to go back. So
yeah, but see, what I was saying is we're just in the hospital, but the Dark Laser, this becomes a bigger thing. Like this was apparently popular enough, or if the writers just liked it enough, and it could be just that to amuse themselves. There's like a whole like Dark Laser trilogy or something that happens later on there. It might be the last episodes of the series. But so there's so much more of that character. But I personally think that Dark Laser is an homage to Darth Vader, but I see so much Emperor Zurg. You know, it's very Buzz Lightyear as well.
Well, Emperor Zurg is meant to be sort of like Vader too, and they have that joke where it's like, oh, it turns out he's his father. They do that in Toy Story too.
So it's it's meta being meta being meta.
Yeah. Oh, ridiculous.
The flipping dog, Flippy the flipping dog of doom.
So for anyone who isn't a big fan of Fairly Odd Parents, and I know it well enough, but it's not in my top, 50 franchises. It's a very memeable and social media oriented show. Like I see all the time the little clips of these characters with some kind of nonsense written in meme form or whatever. And I think one of the tropes in the show is that the dad has this antagonistic relationship with the neighbor, but it's one-sided. Like the neighbor doesn't like him, but he doesn't realize that the neighbor doesn't like him. And so he's just like super friendly and all that stuff. And the neighbor like hates him. And it's the kind of silly stuff where it's like, this plays out in real life every now and then, but it's very, very memeable. And that's how I experienced this show.
The woman is Wanda. Ha 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 ha. That came to me. But yeah, you're right. The costumes need the wigs.
Yeah. I think without a foam wig or like a paper wig or something, you sort of lose the full effect.
Yeah, well, hopefully people that are buying that are going ahead and doing that as well. And just like, or they could be making it generic enough because you could use that same Cosmo accessory set really to do the version of the parody of Arnold Schwarzenegger that appears as a fairy as well.
Oh, he does that?
Oh yeah, in the show there's a Schwarzenegger parody fairy that they go visit at some time. So here he is in his wand wing fighter.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's shaped like a star. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very cute. I
like the little crowns. How Nickel should be getting a kickback from this, all the droidicas.
Yes.
That's what we need to cue Jeff with the soundbite of droidica.
Droidica.
Are you getting all these commercials on Daily Motion?
No commercials.
Yep.
I'm watching on Paramount Plus.
I'm watching on Prime.
Since at least Spencer's watching the right thing, right?
Yeah, you're at least watching the episode. There is a character called Dark Laser. It is, there are droidica.
See, the thing with the Serenity watch along was he was naming the characters, and then sometimes what he would say would just make like not perfect sense, but that's how Spencer is sometimes, where I'm like, I feel like I get what he's saying, but also he's talking about this character, but wait, that character's not in the scene. Is he behind? And then slowly throughout, if you look at my face, there are a couple moments where I was like, wait, what? And then we finally get to the point where it was like, you're not even watching the same thing we're watching.
No.
The slow build to get to that point was...
It took like an hour.
we were done.
When
Like,
we're actually watching
yeah.
Serenity and like, spoilers, like, River Tam goes ape shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, he's not even getting that.
Yeah. Well, the characters and the locations are largely the same, right? They spend most of their time on the ship.
Yes.
And it's the same 9 people. That
Right.
doesn't really change. But yeah, it was kind of ridiculous because the episode would have been an hour or whatever. And it's like, we have another half an hour of this movie left, man. So just hang out.
I was like, my bad.
Out of toner. Let's just see, it's the level of silliness. It's like, we're fairies, but we're doing it through this magical copying machine that we made. And we made the magic copy machine, but we can't just make anything we want.
Yeah, the
Like,
wishes are very silly. Actually, while we're talking about Serenity, we should throw this out to the chat for everyone. Thanksgiving and the month of November will be here before you know it. So if there's movies that you would like us to watch and the movies that you are thankful for segment, because we'll do 4 of those in the month of November, let us know. We'd love to tackle maybe some of our favorite sci-fi. Maybe we should watch... I'm trying to think of like something.
I actually
Starfighter.
Or Running Man, knowing that Running Man.
Running Man.
Yeah.
So I actually started making a list as well. I actually have a note on my phone of movies I'm thankful for, and Starfighter is actually number 1 on that list right now.
Okay.
I actually put Scott Pilgrim on the list.
I like that.
And
Scott
Explorers.
Oh, very young Ethan Hawke. Yes.
Ethan Hawke and River Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That's a cool one right there.
And I always have Starship Troopers because it's
Starship Troopers as well, and that ties into the reunion that's happening at Rhode Island. Is like right in there.
I love that movie, and I had such a crush on Casper Van Diem at the time. I was like,
have to get you a
slightly different experience that I had there, which was the debate over why the hell are you going for Denise Richards when you have.
Yeah, when Dizzy is right there. I mean, I also agreed with that. I was like, he should be with Dizzy. If he's not going to marry me, he should marry Dizzy. Like, this is clearly the correct
Dizzy
option.
was the girl that was in love with him. I mean, and I'm sorry to say, I'm not going to say this, but MPH was awesome in that movie as well.
Yeah, he's really good. It's the kind of thing where, like, they're all in very different movies. Like, NPH is playing it very serious, and Casper Van Diem is an action hero, and Denise Richards doesn't even know what planet she's on. Like, it is
Michael Ironsides.
Yeah,
he's playing really Michael Ironsides.
Yeah, he just showed up, and they were like, "Yeah, it's a football movie. Just throw him in." Yeah, that movie has a tone problem because, like, it's trying to be satirical, but it doesn't trust the audience to be smart enough to know, and which is probably correct because, like, people watch that movie and they don't pick up on the satire, or the book is filled with propaganda, right?
Would you like to know more?
Yeah. Oh my God, I love those segments, right? But like, that's the kind of stuff where I was like, I wish they had dialed up that cheese factor just a little bit more. And I don't know. I feel like the book and the movie are just so different. They're like completely different media.
The cheese that I think Doogie was picking up on and then putting back down in Dr. Horrible because he was getting, he was getting that kind of mad scientisty kind of thing going on.
And I feel like
if you're talking about MPH as well, he also did play Mark in Rent.
He did. Again, closet case. Like, he was not out at the time. And that's when he was on Broadway is when he met David. I think he was doing Assassins at the time. So that all tracks to the timeline.
I love that show too.
So I never got to see Assassins when it was running. And I wanted to go when Neil was in it. And I somehow missed it. And then all of a sudden it fucking closed. It was the kind of thing where I was like, how have they not done a revival? Like, how have they not like expanded to include more Assassins? But I also understand that like shootings are, by the way, we just had like another fucking tragic school shooting like a day ago. But like, so I understand that maybe there's a political / social idea that like while the show is interesting as a piece of art, does it celebrate shooters is a real question, right? So would we not put that show on stage? Fair enough. I think that's a fair discussion to be had.
It's a Sondheim show in itself, which is, and the soundtrack is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, if we're talking about that as well, I mean, the revival of Hedwig with MPH was
amazing.
Yeah. Well, and there's the argument that how much social commentary should you put out there, because they're putting out Running Man right now, which is, what's the right hand doing while the left hand's doing this? That's if that's not timely, I don't know what is timely.
Yeah, we're minutes away from
Running Man. One of the leads of that movie is VCN Hall of Famer Katie O'Brien. I'm
so excited to see the running lady because I want her to run through everyone. Like, I think if anyone can win the tournament, it would be her. And it's Glenn Powell, right?
Is she playing the Maria Conchita Alonso character?
I believe so.
Right? Yeah.
Well, the thing is, we found out she was announced for that while we were at Scum and Villainy on the family vacation running a Boonta Eve. We found out then that she was doing Running Man. So I'm excited.
This is her reuniting with Glenn Powell because they were in Twisters together.
Correct. So, and for those who love Glenn Powell, I mean, that's Hangman from Maverick.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, if you're still actually watching the episode, the second part of the hard copy episode is still rolling on mine here. Because the Fairly Odd Parents was 2, and he's like, the dad is like, I'm fully confident in our American justice system. We'll be out of the, wrongly accused in mere moments. Yeah, no.
We have full faith in the justice system.
There's a lot of great stuff coming out. We're very excited about that. And also, if you were a fan of Thunderbolts, it's now available on Disney+.
Yes, I'm doing that tomorrow night. I have an early dismissal tomorrow from work. So that's my evening plans with Jason. We're going to watch Thunderbolts. I love that movie. I thought it was like super underrated, and it makes me annoyed that it flopped the way it did. And then so did Fantastic Four, kind of. Like, I think all of box office is just down right now, other than like weird stuff that's relatively cheap to make. Like Weapons is a giant hit, obviously, but it also didn't cost a lot, so it doesn't need to make $700 million.
When you can, buy a 90-inch TV and watch it 2 months later when it's streaming anyway.
Yeah, I mean, and I can watch from home and eat my own candy and pee when I want. This is great. Like, yeah.
And also, I mean, tonight also dropped episode 2 of Peacemaker season 2.
I've got to watch that. I'm behind. Let's go back to the StarWars.com article before I forget.
Absolutely, yes. Let's finish that.
So Flynn Gray is the little kid. So there's a kid in this movie. So just everyone be warned. He looks pretty young.
You got to throw in all the things because Skeleton Crew was, I think, relatively successful. So,
But just be warned. There's a child. I don't know what his role is. Simon Bird, who is from The In-Betweeners. So he's a British actor. Jamel Westman. I didn't recognize anything from his CV, but he's another British actor. He was in Anne Boleyn. That was probably the biggest thing on there. And Good Grief, which I have not seen. And then Amy Adams, we already talked about. And, of course, Aaron Pierre, who I think is going to be amazing in DC Lanterns. I'm so excited for that. Yeah, and I think Ryan Gosling is going to be a really good lead. Here's the rest of the article. I feel a profound sense of excitement and honor as we begin production on Star Wars Starfighter, says filmmaker Sean Levy. From the day Kathleen Kennedy called me up, inviting me to develop an original adventure in the incredible Star Wars galaxy, this experience has been a dream come true, creatively and personally. Star Wars shaped my sense of what story can do, how characters and cinematic moments can live with us forever. To join the storytelling galaxy with such brilliant collaborators on screen and off is a thrill of a lifetime. And then they give a little more information. Directed by Sean Levy, the film is produced by Levy and Kathleen Kennedy. Executive producers are Ryan Gosling, Dan Levine, Mary McLaglen, and Josh McLaglen. The script is by Jonathan Tropper. And the picture that they released was Ryan Gosling and Flynn Gray, shot by Ed Miller. And they're obviously sitting on some type of speeder. and you can't really see much. It's black and white. It's far away. You can't get a real close up on their clothes. I'm sure there are crazy YouTubers crazier than us zooming in on these pictures in biggin to try to get like all the details and all that.
Yeah.
So following in the vein of other directors that have come into Star Wars after George, such as like J.J. Abrams or Ryan Johnson, do we think that a creature voice is going to be Ryan Reynolds or Hugh Jackman?
I don't know why you would waste their star power and the money you would pay them to do something.
Well,
like
because the thing is, if you look at, you had Daniel Craig in the height of his bond as a stormtrooper.
Oh, that was like a weird little cameo Easter egg thing.
But that's what I'm saying. Is like Simon Pegg, who is
you have the same thing where they offered like Prince Harry a cameo or something as a
stormtrooper, both of them, and they cut their scene. They're both in there. So I'm just throwing that because it's sort of like Robert Rodriguez. When they announced Robert Rodriguez was doing Fett, we knew Danny Trejo was going to show up somewhere because he shows up in everything. When he knows a Sam Raimi something, that Bruce Campbell is going to be showing up as a cameo somewhere. So I'm wondering, because Sean Levy is best friends with the other two, whether or not they might put him in I know their faces would be.
I see what you're saying. But I have not thought that far in advance. And honestly, like, I'm more interested in what this story beat is going to be. Like, they gave us a little bit of information. But like, I'm especially like interested in what Mia Goth is going to be bringing to the table. Like, I love her. Like, she's so good in that whole trilogy with X, Maxine, and Pearl. Like, she's a weirdo. She's a weird lady. So I want to see that energy come through. Like, they better make her like a dark side witch or some shit. Like,
the only feeling that I get from this photo here is very Solo, right?
Mm-hmm.
A Star Wars story. It's like Coruscant, or he's not from Coruscant. Where is he from? Corellia. It's very like, industrial section of Corellia, riding your speeder, doing your thing, whatever. It's like, are they doing crime? Hell, if they give me Firefly in Star Wars, I'll be happy.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we had a really awesome time tonight talking about all things Star Wars and watching some great animation and everything like that. And we got a whole episode without talking about Taylor Swift getting engaged, which is awesome as well. But Dave, what's going on in the network in the next couple of days?
All I hear about in my house is Taylor Swift getting engaged. Believe you me, I have a teenage daughter. All I hear all day long. But on the network, so much is going on. It is a fifth Sunday this Sunday, so we normally would not have any content whatsoever, but our friends at the Jedi Archives have taped for us a surprise unboxing. I think it's a Young Jedi. I'm not going to give away too much, but it's like a Young Jedi Adventures unboxing. So go check that one out from them. And then Monday, of course, is Labor Day. So we've got a holiday weekend, the unofficial end to the summer. So Clone Wars Revisited is going to be a re-air. They're going to re-air the best of season 1, because we're well into season 2 at this point. We're on I think the next episode will be season 2, episode 17.
Yep.
So
introducing the bounty hunters. We're going to kick off that whole arc. It's very exciting.
And there was some debate on Monday as to whether have we seen Hondo before or not, or is this our first look at Hondo?
I think it's our first look at I think it's actually the premiere of Boba Fett and all of them, and then Hondo comes later. I could be wrong. I've tried to go in cold, as you know.
Yes.
So but we talked about that on Monday when I was like, I think we meet Hondo, and then Colin thought I was wrong, but I'm not 100% sure.
So tune
Either
in.
way, bounty hunters abound.
If Mark or Colin is correct, but that will not be this week. It will be a re-air this week, and then Tuesday. Please join us for the Zoom. Okay, is everything happens on the Zoom? We'll be there. You can talk about anything that you want to with us. and all the new Star Wars news and any new Star Wars news that pops up over the weekend will be there. And Daughters of the Galaxy is back next Wednesday. They are continuing their series talking about the costumes and costumers from the Star Wars Disney Plus series is mainly, and they'll be doing the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. So join that. And then we already told you what we're doing next Thursday, which was we're going to be doing Blue Harvest, the Star Wars episodes of Family Guy. So please join us on the network. Check out all the things. And join us on the YouTubes. Join us on the Facebooks. Get another member. That's where you see where all of this stuff happens. All the road to 100,000, all the new announcements. That StarWars.com episode or issue was posted within minutes of it coming out on our page. So be there for the Star Wars news.
Absolutely. And also don't forget Monday at 12 p.m. Central Time, 1 p.m. Eastern, and 10 a.m. Pacific, tickets for an evening with Diana Lee Inosanto go on sale, and there are only 50 tickets available for this event, so it will sell out. So please join us. We'll all be there with you in Chicago. Looking forward to meeting all of our Chicagoland family members that we have not seen in a while since Celebration has been overseas the last 2 times. But we are also, we say we're on the road. They say they're on the road to WrestleMania. We're on the road to Celebration 2027, and buckle up because it's going to be a wild ride. But we couldn't be happier and more excited to be your choice of your news broadcast here on the interwebs as part of our virtual Cantina Network family. Thank you very much for all of us joining us for this particular event. Dave, want to close out with anything?
Well, what are we going to do tonight, Spencer?
Narf. Yes. Take over the world.
We're going to take over the galaxy.
We're going to take over the galaxy.
The same thing we do every night. Try to take over the galaxy.
Shenanigans, I tell you. Shenanigans. That's what we do every night. All right, everybody. Have a great night. May the force be with you.